ASUU Chairman, UNILAG Chapter, Dr. Dele Ashiru is here in the studio to put perspective to this issue. Thank you for joining us. Good morning.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Good
morning. Now, ASUU says they were in conversation or having conversation with the federal government on Nigerian University Accountability and Transparency System, NUTAS. And so we're taken aback by this developments coming from the government, and so statements as to there are elements within the system trying to, sabotage the discussions they are making with, or the progress they are trying to make with the government with this development. Put a perspective, what really is going on?
Well, thank you very much. You see, what is going on is symptomatic of the general malady that afflicts the Nigerian society. We thought that since we had that audience with Mr. President, and he had asked the Minister of Education to continue the interface and ensure that, all of these issues are amicably resolved. The union is taken aback by this development. And it's even more worrisome that it is the Accountant General of the Federation that is requesting his superior, the Minister of Finance, not to pay university lecturers. That tells you the kind of confusion that goes on in this government.
While you had that meeting with the president, was he a part of it?
Oh, yeah, the Accountant General.
Yes.
No, the Minister of Finance. An Accountant General should have no business in such high-level meeting.
But the Finance Minister was part of it.
The Finance Minister was at the meeting.
And so it was expected that whatever resolutions were reached was passed across to him.
Definitely, sure. So the union is just surprised that an employee of the state, an individual who is paid even from the taxes that are deductible from the salaries of ASUU, can take this kind of very brash.
But do you think that he would have taken this decision by himself without directive from his superior?
Well, there's a letter flying around that was authored by him. And in that letter, he was requesting the minister. That is the strange aspect.
Okay.
Short of giving directive
to the minister,
to his superior, not to release funds to universities.
Quickly, before you come into your loss, what were the resolutions reached at that meeting with the president?
Yeah, the resolutions are that, one, the Minister of Education should continue the interface. And the consensus at the meeting, was that if the goal of government is to stop corruption, in the system, in the Nigerian society, certainly there cannot be only one way solution to it. The consensus was that both the UTAS, University Transparency and Accountability Solution, and the IPPIS could find an harmonious working relationship. It's a sort of synergy, such that all of the issues that we have raised, for which we have been vindicated. Last month, members of the Immigration Service were being asked to refund monies that was overpaid on the IPPIS platform. So if we see all of these shortcomings, and we are saying that let us develop it, let us make it more functional. I don't think that a responsive government should take this British path. So because if you say you will not pay those who have worked, we have worked for this month. So one is surprised that you say because we are not enrolled, which even violates not only university autonomy, the principle of collective bargaining.
How can all of these issues now, how do we ensure that in as much as you have this issue with IPPIS, the federal government, and it's getting to a point that you want to resolve it, it doesn't demean the autonomy of universities?
Yeah, if government buys into the system, the solution that we are developing, it will guarantee university autonomy, as well as help government to do what they want to do within the system.
Now, ASUU is calling for an industrial action, a strike, and the federal government is still holding on to its case. Are there measures in place to solve the problem with or without the strike action?
Well, I think that it may not be too correct to say that we are going on strike.
Really? But
Yeah.
that's what the reports we are getting.
Yeah.
Yeah, what we are saying is that if you don't pay us, we will not go to work.
Not a strike.
That's not a strike.
So what do you
Really?
call
What's
that?
the difference?
Well, nobody wants to be working and not get paid, especially because it is on an enrollment on a platform. If we are still going to go on strike on much more fundamental issues. It is the conviction of our union that this IPPIS is a deliberate distraction by government.
How so?
Because we have a number of outstanding issues. Recall that when we suspended the last strike, we talked about the issue of the renegotiation of the 2009 FGN ASUU agreement. As I speak with you, more than 1 year after,
Nothing has been
nothing
done?
has been done, and we were promised only 6 weeks.
After the 6 weeks, did you engage government on that?
We've been consistently. Not only that, we have the 2018 Memorandum of Action. When we suspended the strike, government promised that they were going to pay us arrears of end academic allowances. Up till now, no dime has been paid. The revitalization fund, which government promised to pay in tranches, up to today, no penny has been released. Visitation panels, you are talking about curbing corruption in the university system. And we suggested to government that by law, the visitor, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is the visitor to all federal universities, is empowered by law to visit the universities at least once in 5 years. I think the last one was done about 9 or 10 years ago. Part of the agreement towards the suspension of that strike was that government was going to constitute visitation panels to all the universities. More than 1 year after, nothing has been done. So you can see that all these...
the issue is, how are you engaging government on all of these issues, not leaving one stone unturned, ensuring that each agreement is met?
Yes, you see, when we rose from the last National Executive Council meeting in FUT Mina, we caused a letter to be written to the minister, drawing his attention, Minister of Education, drawing his attention to all of these issues. In fact, in that letter, we stated unequivocally that IPPIS is just a ploy by government to create confusion in the Nigerian university system. And should there be any crisis in the system, the Accountant General and the Federal Republic of Nigeria should be held squarely accountable. Because you can see that our patience is being stretched to an inelastic limit. You enter into an agreement with people, you will not fulfill it. You promise to renegotiate an agreement since 2009. Up to today, nothing has been done. So Nigerians should realize that ASUU had been in the forefront in the struggle to safeguard public universities in Nigeria.
All right.
The design of government is to destroy public universities so that the universities they are floating.
You can categorically say
Yes.
that. The choice of words, you have to be careful with the choice of words. But then we'll
I can prove everything.
We'll leave it at that now.
Okay, thank you.
So, Dr. Dele Ashiru. But we hope to see that government listens to what the grounds are with ASUU. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for this opportunity.